Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Hump day, yeah!
All right, I think I got everything set up right here. As is usual, it would not be a Wednesday if something did not go wrong right before the show. And today, my Stream Deck decided it didn't want to connect to OBS, so I'm having to switch things up just directly through OBS instead of using all the neat little macros and everything that I have set up on my Stream Deck. But not that big a deal. Can easily get around that. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. We are here. That's right. It is hump day. Gonna have a good day today. I hope. Got a few things that I definitely... Ooh, is the mic loud? Hang on. Is that a little better, hopefully? I will turn it down on my deck. I will turn it down in OBS a little bit. If it's still too loud, let me know. If it's too low now, let me know. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And of course, yes, just like Stream Deck not wanting to work for me, of course, the mic is going to be a pain in my ass now too. All right. Good. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone. Hopefully it's... Oh, P-Dubs, come on. Stop it. I'm going to trust Jason. Jason says it's good now. I'm going to trust Jason on that one. Let's try this again. Hi, guys. Welcome to Wednesday, the Let's Talk show with Bill. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight. Gonna hopefully have a really... Stop it, guys. You're gonna make me self-conscious. Hopefully we're gonna have a good show tonight. Like I said, I got a few things to cover. Personally, I'm very excited because I am done with work for the rest of the week, because for the next 4 days, I'm going to be down in Manhattan, in New York City, for New York Comic Con. I look forward to this every single year. A lot of really fun stuff always goes on at New York Comic Con. There's a bunch of really cool things that I'm excited to check out this year. Hopefully, oh God, you guys are so bad. Hopefully there's some panels that I can get into that I really want to see. There's a bunch of them, and I'll go through a couple of them a little bit later tonight so you guys can maybe know what to expect from me later on. Oh, P-Dubs, thank you for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that. $2 super chat. You know what? Let me get this out of the way right away. As we get into everything. P-Dubs, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are having a little fun at my expense in the chat. But what I'd really like for the show tonight, please hold your super chats. Please no membership gifts tonight, because really there's a couple of things going on. I know a lot of you guys are aware of the GoFundMe that's going on for our good friend Steve Sale. You can see which way. You can see in the corner there, I've got the QR code up for it. I usually have the chat up in the corner over there, but I decided to get rid of that for this show. So I've got the GoFundMe up for that. Let me bring this up really quick for you guys. I want to go to my Stream Deck, and I can't. Here. All right. So, like I said, a lot of you are aware that this has been going on. Big shout out to Michael B. the Game Genie and James Hates Everything for setting this up for our buddy Steve. The goal has now been set to the proper goal, actually. It was originally set to 4.5K. It's now 6.5K. From what I understand, that's really about what he needs to have this surgery, to have everything done. Really great job, guys. Just shy of $5,000 on this right now. We need just over 1,500 to push it right to where, right to the goal. So if you have not given to this yet, please go ahead and give to this GoFundMe for Steve Sale. If you've done it already, you want to give more, absolutely you can. But if you've already given, thank you so much for doing this. Absolutely. The other thing is, and one of the things you'll notice in the little corner of my video there is I've got a pink ribbon. Now, the reason I have a pink ribbon there is, for those of you who don't know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, this is something that is really close and very important to me personally, because there's been a lot of ladies in my life who have gone through breast cancer. Thank God everyone that I know who's gone through it is a survivor of it. This includes my mom, my aunt, my cousin, several friends have all gone through breast cancer. And again, thank God they've all survived it. But this month, I'm always very aware, hyper aware of that. I always try to do something, whether it's just wearing the ribbon or making some awareness about it. So the other thing that you guys can do, if you have already done this for Steve, or if you want to do even more, and I don't have any particular affiliation with this this foundation, this Susan G. Komen, but this is one that I've given to in the past. This is one that I really like, because I think they do a lot of really good with the money they collect for research and for women who go through breast cancer. Another nice thing about this particular website is they've actually partnered with Bank of America for the month of October. So anything you give, Bank of America matches 4 times the amount. So if you give 10, they're going to give 40. You give 100, they're going to give 400. So, which I think is fantastic. So I've got links in the video description to both the GoFundMe for Steve and this website. Or, you know, if breast cancer is something that you're aware of, if you've given in the past, you've got a particular charity or something that you like to give to, October is a great month for that, just because of this. So this is something I'm going to try to keep doing throughout the month, having maybe the pink ribbon show up from time to time in my videos, have links to this particular website. So just something that, like, I really want to put out there to you guys. So hold your super chats, hold your membership gifts, give to something like this for this month. And God, you know, I know it's mostly guys in the chat here, probably all guys right now at this point. And let's face it, guys, we love the boobies. So let's save the boobies, all right, for the month of October. Let's do this. And I keep wanting to go to that stream deck. I gotta remember to do this. So guys, just like I said, just to get that out of the way real quick, and I'll probably throw some reminders out throughout the show. But yeah, JJ, something like 1 in 8 women are impacted by breast cancer. Yeah, it's some crazy number. And again, thank God that it's something that can be treated. I know a lot of women do survive it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of after effects too, whether it's having to have a mastectomy, or, and reconstructive surgery, or just the chemo and everything that, the things that you have to go through for it. So it's rough. It's rough, man, for sure. But get that out of the way. Let's have some fun. Let's say hi to some of the people in the chat here. Let me go back up to the top here. Of course, we've got James Hates Everything. Again, thanks to James and Mike for setting up that GoFundMe. And the man himself is here. We got Steve Sale in the chat. Back to JJ again. Thank you so much for being here. We got B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. Calvin Wong is here. I know I said hi to P-Dubs before. P-Dubs is here. We've got the Real Zim in the chat. Hello. Always great to have you here. Of course, my moderator, Jason Lilalian. Always great to have you here. Always, love all the work that you do for everybody in the community, for sure, along with so many other people who do so much incredible stuff for this community. Brooklyn Menace is here. Always good to see you, buddy. Who else we got? We got Israel Gaming is here. We got Mike Hawkhurts in the chat. We got Michael B, the Game Genie, here as well, stopping in to say hi. Thank you, Jason, for putting that up for the GoFundMe as well, of course. And let me see. Am I missing anybody? J-Rod is here. Good to see J-Rod. And Jim, the Pacers fan. Where is Elvira? Speaking of boobies, that's coming out, what, next week? I think. Is it the 13th or the 16th, guys? Somebody in the chat remind me when that is going to drop for Pinball Effects. But I know a lot of people are looking forward to the Elvira Pinball, whether you're just going to play it on PC or on your at games, or I'm looking forward to picking it up in VR for sure. Bill, what's your cosplay for Comic-Con? So normally, especially if I'm going for multiple days, I tend to go like just pretty comfortable jeans and a t-shirt. I don't go too crazy. I am going to dress up, I think, for Saturday, because there's a Star Trek panel going on. Paramount Plus is going to do a Star Trek panel to talk about, you know, some of their upcoming shows. They've got a Starfleet Academy show coming up. I think they're going to talk about what they got planned for the future for Strange New Worlds. And I do have a Starfleet uniform. It's kind of similar to the ones in that show. It's actually based on the ones from the Christopher Pine movies. The what do they call it? The Kelvin timeline movies. So I think I'm going to wear that on Saturday, because it's basically just a shirt and black pants, so it's not too much, really. So I think I am going to do that, though. So that should be kind of fun. We got Mr. Paradise here saying, "What's up?" The B-Me is here. I know you were here earlier in the chat, first in the chat, last on the call-outs. I'm sorry. By the time I get OBS up and everything set up, your chat, it's not there because it doesn't show up right away. So I apologize for that. Biggie D's Arcade here. Oh, Moat. Good evening, Bill. About New York. Yeah. Listen, man. Mike, I got you covered. At least I hope so. I'm gonna look for that thing for you. I will let you know if I can check it out. But it's on my agenda. I just know I haven't forgotten about that, Moat. It's on the agenda. That's for sure. All right, guys. So let's get into some stuff here. Now that we've said hi, we'll continue to say hi as people come in to the chat for sure. Let's start with. God, I'm looking all over the freaking place. It's amazing how you can get so used to using something simple like a Stream Deck, and when you can't use it, it like completely messes you up. So I know a lot of us are really looking forward to this Marvel Cosmic Invasion game. If you haven't checked out the demo on Steam, you really want to check it out. It is a lot of fun. I could see just having a ton of fun with this game. But in case you guys missed this, a data leak has been found from the game. There's been some data miners who've gone through the game who found some different stuff on it, and they've been able to find out what the last two characters in the game are going to be. Let me see. I've got a good picture of it here. Let me bring this up. So this is one of the pictures that they were able to pull from the game. And you can see a bunch of different characters in here that we haven't seen yet. A lot of these are probably going to be bosses or people you're going to fight against, like this Thanos down, right here. We can see Galactus. I know that one has obviously shown up in some images already for stuff. But I think the big picture that people were really interested in was this one here. And this one shows all 15 of the playable characters in the game, at least initially. And the last two that haven't been officially announced yet look like they're going to be Iron Man and Phoenix. Iron Man seemed like a no-brainer anyway. You had Captain America and all. Iron Man seemed like it would be kind of a safe bet. But I'm pretty psyched to see Phoenix in this game. I am a huge fan of Phoenix as an X-Men character. Always loved her. Always thought she was really cool. So it's going to be pretty cool to be able to play her in this game. Of course, there's also a question mark here. So is there some other character that we haven't seen? There's plenty of space here. which has led a lot of people to believe, even with the data mining, that there's references to DLC. So there's probably going to be more characters added after the game comes out, which is really cool. I mean, they added characters to Ninja Turtles and some of the other games that they've done after the fact. This is starting out of the gate with 15, and they're still going to add characters to it. So definitely psyched to see this for sure. No Dazzler, no buy. That is Silver Surfer, actually, which that one I'm really curious to see how he's going to play out. Being on the surfboard and everything. Him, Beta Ray Bill, Phoenix, they're pretty powerful characters. So I just hope that they're not like overpowered for a game like this. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play out in this game. Hey, Matt Astra Gaming, good to see you here. He was dropping me some comments on some videos. I know Matt Astra's going to be at Comic-Con this weekend as well. I think you said you were just going for Saturday, right? If so, I hope we get a chance to say hi. If anybody's ever been to one of the bigger conventions like San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, they're like crazy packed with people. And trying to find somebody specific is like a needle in a haystack on these things. They literally get like 100,000 people going through the Javits Center over the weekend. So it's going to be crazy. But again, I am looking forward to it. So guys, just a quick update there on Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Also, another character apparently that is in this as a boss is Null from the Venom series. So that should be kind of cool to see him in this game too. They're really pulling out some interesting characters for this game, which is very cool. So I am very psyched to see this for sure. Yep, so you're going to be there Saturday. I'm hard to miss. We'll see. Like I said, hopefully we get a chance to see each other for sure. Cornicade is here as well. Hey, Danny, always good to see you. Hello. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to bring up, let me get these pictures out of here and actually bring this one up instead. I think a lot of you maybe saw this recently too, so I wanted to just take a minute and talk about this with you guys because I think this is actually really cool. Even though it's like super niche, I do think this is pretty cool that he's doing it. So Glen has announced that he is looking to do a 720 joystick. He put this up on his Build Decade FU Facebook page a couple days ago. Hi everyone, GRS and T-Sticks have been working on a 720 controller to go with our other arcade controllers. We'd like if anyone has good photos and details on size of the controller, or even better, non-used one, so on and so forth. So yeah, so he is looking to make a 720 controller. Now, I reached out to Glen earlier today. We were chatting about a couple of things, but I was asking him about this 720 stick and kind of what his plans are. And I did get a little bit of info from him on this. Let me take that off the screen for a minute. So Glen has actually been in contact with somebody who's got a real one off an arcade machine. I don't know if it's non-working or whatever, but he's got a real one. And the guy has agreed to send it to him so that he can take some measurements, so that he can look at it, so he can, do whatever he needs to do to make his own version of it. Will he do a GRS spinner for the Counter Series Tempest cab for basic fun? I don't know if he's got plans to specifically support it, but the thing is this: if they're at all similar to the controls on an arcade one-up, I gotta guess you could probably swap them out just like you could on some of the arcade one-up ones, but we'll have to wait and see. But getting back to the 720, so he's got somebody sending him a real one. His goal is to get it as close to the real thing as possible in terms of functionality and size. He wants this to be pretty much a one-to-one replica of the 720 controller, but be USB based. Now he's also thinking he may do like he did with his Star Wars yoke and have it have both USB and arcade hookups. So if you want to put his version in a real arcade machine, you could do that as well. So that's something that he is looking into doing. Now, as of right now, he's not planning on making like a full-on control deck for the Build-A-Cade FU with the 720 in it. They just want to make the joystick. They just want to do the joystick. So who knows? Maybe buy stuff or 99 Lives, or one of these companies that makes that does custom control decks or whatever. Maybe they'll be interested in putting something together, or custom building for people something to make a 720 deck if people want it for their Build-A-Cade FU. But right now, like I said, his focus is on making the controller, and it sounds like it's going to be really cool. Again, very niche. As far as I'm aware, it's the only game that uses that particular controller. Although, again, as people have pointed out, it's basically a spinner with a joystick kind of sticking out at an angle. Apparently, even in the arcade version, it's a Hall effect spinner and joystick in it, which is interesting, according to Glen. But so I mean, you could probably use it with other spinner games if you wanted to. He should do a 49-way stick too for games like NFL Blitz and Sinistar. Look, anything's possible. To the best of my knowledge, right now he's actually working on a few different things. So the 720 thing he's just announced. There's a couple other things that he's announced in the past that he's really trying to push over the finish line. One of those is some add-on controllers for the Star Wars yoke. He's got some Bluetooth-enabled add-on buttons that you can put on your Star Wars yoke. He showed those off a while ago. He announced those a while ago so that you can have other controls to go with it to play other games that might need more than just, the yoke for it. That is hopefully going to come out in the near future. He's also working on his driving pedals. I know a lot of people have seen that. And he's trying to get back to working on a Paperboy handlebar controller as well. Now, he's looking into making a standalone one that you could just buy, the handlebar set, or maybe even do it as some kind of like a conversion kit for the Star Wars yoke. So if you already own the Star Wars yoke and you want to turn it into a Paperboy one, that's something that might actually happen too. So for those of you who don't really know, Glen may be taking a little bit of hiatus from YouTube for a little while. He's been feeling a little bit burned out. He needs to just kind of step back, take a break for a little bit, kind of gather his thoughts. He and his son are taking a nice vacation down to Florida this weekend, which is cool. I told him he's going to some of the Universal parks. I told him he's got to let me know how the new Nintendo park is down there, because I'm dying to check it out one of these days. But yeah, not to get too much into that, but just to know he's got a lot of stuff in the works. There's going to be some really cool. Plus, working on the Build-A-Cade FU, making sure that is top of the line when it comes out early next year. So he's got a lot on his plate right now, which is good for him. But there's more to look forward to. And apparently, something else that may or may not happen in the future. He wouldn't tell me what it was, but we'll just have to wait and see if that's something that comes to fruition or not. But he's let's just say he's still thinking of other things to do. He's still got plans to continue his controller line and the stuff that he's doing with T-Sticks. So always good to see that. The center and crankshaft is the tricky part with 720. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know a lot about it other than, again, it's the basic, the gist of it. Like I said, about, spinner with joystick. That much I understand. The mechanics underneath, obviously, like I said, there's more to it. It may have to do with the fact that it's, like I said, it's the Hall effect technology in it. It's not a game, like I said, Glenn and I were both talking about this today. It's not a game really either of us remember playing a lot. In the arcades. I remember it more actually from like the Nintendo days when it was on the consoles and stuff, which obviously you're talking about playing it on like an NES with the NES control pad. Very different play mechanic from the arcade controller, obviously. So if I've ever played it, it was maybe once or twice way back in the day in the early, mid 80s when it first came out. I think it was like 85 or 86 that no, I think it was 86. I think the game originally came out in 86. So it was probably back then at some point that I remember playing it, if at all. So it's not something that's kind of burned into my memory on it. But I am curious to see what he's going to come up with because I think it'd be pretty cool. And obviously there's not a lot of other people making those kind of controllers out there. Hey, Rich Waldello, good to see you. Glad you are here as always. And yes, I said, again, thanks for this, Meatball Saucy. I didn't say hi to you, so hello for being here, of course. All right, moving on. Let's see. Next up is getting this off my screen and going to this. All right, so real quick. So a lot of you know I'm a big fan of Walkabout Golf. And I am really looking forward to this new course that's dropping. I think, is it tomorrow or is it Friday? I forget. Maybe it'll come up at the end here. I think it's tomorrow that this comes out. Yeah, October 9th. This Forgotten Fairyland comes out. And it looks like it is going to be really, really cool. I am definitely looking forward to checking out that new course in Walkabout Golf. I'm a little disappointed that I'm going to have to wait a little bit because I am not going to have time to check it out this weekend with the con going on. But I know the people in the chat here. I know Jason's here and P-Dubs and Mike and Meatball, Steve. I know you guys, Zim, I know all you guys are probably going to be jumping on this course tomorrow when it comes out. Let me know, because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully after this weekend, I'll get a chance to check it out. But it's always a lot of fun when a new course drops for Walkabout Golf. We always have a really good time with it. As, there's another course coming out based on Alice in Wonderland sometime, I think, in December. So, and that one got announced before this. So I'm really glad to see them have something else coming out that we didn't have to wait till December for a new course. Now, if they could just, sneak another one in November, that would be even better. So hopefully we'll continue to see stuff drop from them, plus new modes and different things. So looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys who play this, let me know. Let me know how it is. I'll try to keep an eye on the Discord throughout the weekend when you guys are playing, because it does look like it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So let's get into what is kind of the main topic tonight. And then I'm going to finish everything up talking about, like I said, what's going on with New York Comic Con. I've never played Walkabout. Is it worth it? Yes. It is totally a lot of fun. Well, if you've got a MetaQuest, even if you've got a MetaQuest 2, it is so much fun. Part of what really makes it fun is playing it multiplayer with people. It's fun to play on your own, but it's the multiplayer aspect that really makes it cool. It's such a social experience. We have a lot of fun playing it. We trash talk each other the whole time, of course, guys. We do stuff like that. But dude, you'd have a lot of fun if you've got a there you go. See, perfect. You got a Quest 3. Perfect. You could absolutely play it. Guys, we got to get Mo. We got to get Mo in the Discord. We got to get him on there. We got to get him playing with us for sure. I think you'd have a blast, and it's a lot of fun. So definitely come and join us if you can. Unfortunately, these guys tend to play very late at night. A lot of these guys are Midwest or West Coasters. I'm over here on the East Coast. So they want to play it like, 8 or 9 o'clock their time, and it's like 11, 12 o'clock my time. And I'm like, I got to get up for work the next morning. I can't play. So I usually am relegated to the weekends when I know I can sleep in a little bit, but still, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I know people are we've all been talking about getting into Demio, D&D, possibly Among Us. There's so many cool social games that you can play in VR, which to me is just wild that you can do that. So don't feel bad I wasn't invited either. But it definitely makes it a lot of fun. All right. So of course I know a lot of you have been seeing all of this news lately. I did post a video yesterday when everything went up for sale on Amazon. So just to kind of touch on some of this stuff again real quick, because I'd love to hear you guys in the chat as we talk about this stuff. Silly, Basic Fun dropped the first 4 of their new machines in this Arcade Classics line. They're bigger machines. Oh, B. Kirby! Thank you. Thank you, as always, for the membership gifts. Brother, I appreciate it. I love you, man, that you do that. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm going to have to mention it again. I really want people to hold the Super Chats and the membership gifts today. I want people to put their money to helping Steve. You can see the QR code underneath my picture here. To giving to maybe a breast cancer organization like the one I have in the description, the Susan G. Komen one or another one, whatever you want to do. But I really want people to save their money and go to these 2 charities right now, to the GoFundMe for helping out Steve, or to giving to some kind of organization in honor of October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But having said all that, brother, I gotta say thank you as always for gifting the memberships. You're always there. You give so much to so many of these channels. You're a straight up good dude, man, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. I'll do both. Already had you are the best. You really are. Thank you. I appreciate that. Getting back to this, because you guys sidetrack me all the time. I think you do things like this on purpose, just because I get sidetracked really easily. I definitely have shiny rock syndrome. I'm the poster child for ADHD, I think. But we saw that Basic Fun had dropped the first of their new products in this Arcades Classics line, 2 of their Counter series, 2 of their Ultra series. For all the kind of complaining, if you will, that a lot of us made about WrestleFest, the changes to it, the things that we didn't like or whatever. Man, those suckers sold fast, because as of right now, both the Counter one and the Ultra one are sold out. Now, again, let me preface this by saying we have no idea what the numbers were. We have no idea how many of them they actually had that they could sell right now. Odds are they're going to get more. I don't think this was it. You'll see more of these, I'm pretty sure, before the holiday. But it is really pretty cool to see that they did sell out pretty quickly. I think that's a good thing. Again, even if you didn't care for these, even if you think these are going to be crap, these are Arcade 2.0, you don't want them, whatever, that's fine. 100% entitled to your opinion. I'm trying to be hopeful that this is a brand that's going to grow over the next year or so, and that we'll see these continue to get better and add features over the next couple of years. But so the fact that they're selling quickly is a good sign. Now, again, for those of you who didn't know, the $5.99 and the $2.50 price isn't really the real price right now, because they've each got coupons. The Ultra Series has a $100 coupon, so that brings it down to $4.99. The counter has a $50 coupon, brings it down to $199. These coupons are going to be good through November 6th. So you, in terms of getting them at a good price, you've got plenty of time on them. Let me get out of there for a minute. So there's plenty of time to get them, but yeah, I do personally. I think it is a good sign that they are selling pretty quickly. Mike Hawkert says, I ordered the WrestleFest counter series when it first went up. Then they added the coupon after the fact, attempting to get them to honor the coupon, or I'll be turning and repurchasing. They should. They should honor it, because my understanding was that it was supposed to go live with the coupon right away. And Amazon kind of, I think, screwed that up, which is why there was such a delay, because actually the coupon for the Ultras went up first. And then a while later, the coupons went up for the counter. So they didn't even drop at the same time with the coupons, which was kind of interesting. Bobby1ALU says 25 Ultra and 65 counter case. Is that you just throwing out numbers just to be funny, or excuse me, or was that real? Because I'm having a hard time believing it was that little. Could be, but I must get an Ultra FOMO strong. Again, from what I understand, there's more coming in, so this isn't the end of it for sure. And if those numbers were real, that's as many as they had, which again, who knows? You know, when the thing went live, it was saying things like only 15 left in stock, only 7 left in stock, or whatever. So the numbers they were showing weren't that high, but you can't always go by that with Amazon. Those numbers are not always accurate. So one thing I do want to say about this too, with the pricing on this, because I know a lot of people were kind of surprised. Some people not so much, but some people were a little surprised at the real retail price of this. Never mind the coupons. But these coming in at $5.99, and the countercade especially being $2.50 when we were told they were supposed to be $180. Even with the coupon, it's still like $20 more expensive than it was for what they had originally said they were, or at least the price they said they were shooting for. So what I've heard is that this pricing is not really driven so much by basic fun as much as it is by Spreetail. And that it's based on more of kind of an algorithm that helps determine pricing, and that the pricing on these is probably going to fluctuate depending on demand. And the funny thing is, with these selling out quickly, that actually means the price is going to stay high. If they sat for a while and didn't sell, that's when you'd see the price start to drop. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation. Do you get it because you're afraid if you don't get it, maybe you're going to miss out, depending on how many there are? Or do you wait and see if maybe they sit for a while, the price comes down? So, you know, it's kind of a game that you wind up playing with these things. But the point being is that those prices, the $5.99 and the $2.50, might not be the prices we see on these all the time. We might see them go down. I think they were trying to set them basically as high as they thought they could go and get away with it, if you want to say it that way. And, you know, the coupon is, you know, the carrot to bring people in and try to sell them out, try to sell as many as they could real quick. Could there be sales on this in the future? Sure. Do we expect that these are going to go down to crazy low levels like we used to see from Arcade One Up, with these hitting like $2.99 and $3.99? I wouldn't count on it, especially not even like for Black Friday. For Black Friday, you might see another $100 off or $50 off like you're seeing for these, but I wouldn't expect them to go down crazy low. Honestly, probably the best you can hope for is what we thought the retail price was going to be, the $4.99 and the $180. At least that's kind of what I'm guessing from the things that I'm kind of hearing from a few people, talking in the background on things. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens on these, but I'm sure these are going to be back in stock. Hopefully they get more in during this month so that people can still take advantage of that coupon before it expires on November 6th. So we'll have to wait and see. Guys, for those of you who've ordered these in the chat, when you get them, let us, especially the WrestleFest. I know a lot of us did not order it. I didn't order it because it's just not something I'm personally interested in, and I'm not going to buy something just for the purpose of putting a review out there. Economically, it makes no sense. But I know a lot of us are very curious about the game when it comes out. So post some stuff in Facebook, post stuff in, if you're in somebody's Discord that follows the basic fun stuff, post stuff out there. Let us know, guys, because, and of course, we'll do our part to share the findings with everybody so everybody can become aware as these become available. Let me kind of jump back up on the chat here a little bit and see what people are saying. I was planning to get my hands on it to decide in advance if I really wanted the Supreme. I'm very suspect that I won't be happy with the final ROMs. I can understand that completely. From my understanding, they had to overprice them and give a coupon to get in on Prime days. That also could be a possibility considering this drop during the 2 Prime days. Now, again, it's nice that the coupon is for longer than the Prime days, that it goes out, a full month on it, but I'm sure that could be a part of it. $4.99 for the Ultra isn't terrible, but $1.99 for the Countercade, not worth it. Yes, there are a lot of WWF fans out there. 100% agree with that. The question is, how many of them are huge fans of this particular game enough to know that it's not the same as the game that was in the arcade? That's going to be where, you got to wonder if some buyer's remorse is going to come in on people who get this, who may not be aware of some of the changes that so many of us are because we follow this stuff so religiously. Hey, Gotham City Arcade. Good to see you here, brother. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. As always appreciate you stopping by for sure. B. Kirby, I paid $2.99 for my A1 Up 2-player countercades prior to the tariffs. Also, the single-player A1 Up countercades didn't have a light. Yeah, the original ones, right? I'm so used to the partycades. Even some of the partycades originally didn't have light-up marquees, right? The problem, and B. Kirby, I 100% understand what you're saying. Problem is, we're spoiled. I don't know what other way to say it. We're spoiled. As much as we want to bitch and complain about some of the stuff that Arcade 1-Up has done over the years, you have to admit that they did continue to add features. They did continue to do things over the years to get better and better, to make better products, at least in terms of adding new features and things that now we're so used to that when we see something like this from a brand new company, we automatically want to do that comparison and then get disappointed that they're not doing at least as much as Arcade 1-Up. So we're disappointed that the countercades don't have light-up marquees when the Arcade 1-Up ones now do. We're disappointed that the Ultra Series doesn't have molded coin doors on it when the Arcade 1-Up ones, the deluxe ones, do. And when you're talking about the same or even more money for something, that compounds the disappointment. So while I hear you and I understand exactly where you're coming from on it, when you get used to something and then when something new doesn't meet the expectations of what you're used for, that's what leads to disappointment. I'm not playing any games that aren't for me, even with the coupons, which, again, totally makes sense. Sadly, because the ROM is modified, it's going to become a collector's item, or it's not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with that one. Did you see the WWE Street Fighter crossover figures on Walmart? I did see that they were coming out with those. Fans of that game and that era of wrestling, because that's based on like 1980s pro wrestling, right? If the countercade without light armor key and the curls that look janky was 180 or maybe 150, yeah. Then they probably go for it. Stupid Fat Hobbit is here. I keep reiterating the easiest fix to WrestleFX is just add Axe. The sprites are there. Just alter the face, give him Slaughter's moveset, and make Crush and Smash the first match, Axe and Smash the last. Again, I'm not there with a lot of my wrestlers, but if that's something they could do, again, we don't know at this point. We don't know. Arcade 1-Up does what Basic Fun don't. Okay. It will become one because of the modification in the WWE scene, WWE collector scene. Okay. All right. Okay, Mo, I got you now. I'm a little slow on the intake sometimes, but I'm with you. I'm with you now. I see what you're saying, and that could be true. That could definitely be true. Again, a lot of people are gonna get it just because they're wrestling fans, and you know, it's like we said about Arcade 1-Up for years. It's functional furniture. It's gonna sit there. It's gonna look cool with, you know, if you've got other, you know, things that you collect for wrestling. So. Jumped on it day one for $4.99. Yeah, I took the shortcut, but come on, Arcade 1-Up's been out for 7 years and still nothing to show for it. A lot of fans that don't follow our community closely who will just assume the full rosters, including many, will request refund. Yeah, see, that's what my concern would be, Mike. That's exactly what my concern would be, too, is that people are going to get this. They're not going to know that it's missing some of those characters, and they're going to be disappointed when they get it. And you're right. Let's face it. The majority of people who buy these things, whether it's Arcade 1-Up, whether it's Basic Fun, whether it's any of these, don't follow this community. Don't watch people like me. Don't aren't in, you know, Reddit or Facebook or any of these kind of things. They see this stuff show up on Amazon. They see it show up in a retail store. They see it show up in, you know, like a toy magazine catalog or whatever, and they think it's cool and they buy it. They don't know what we know because, like I said, we're so ingrained into this that we really, you know, try to figure all this stuff out and put out as much information as we can, the good, the bad, and the ugly. A little sippy of water there. All right. One other thing just to kind of touch on real quick in regards to Basic Fun. And I know, again, a lot of you guys have seen this, but I want to throw this out there and, you know, just kind of get your guys' thoughts and opinions, hear what you guys in the chat have to say. Wait, there are people that didn't. Oh, Bobby, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. You know, it's the little comments like that, even, you know, when you're kind of poking fun, that just kind of make my day, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, all right, so I guess a lot of you have seen this too, that Cyrus apparently has moved on from Arcade 1-Up and is now also over at Basic Fun. They've made him the senior managing of licensing over there. As of right now, this is the second, you know, person that we know of who has made the move from Arcade 1-Up to Basic Fun. The first was this guy here, Christopher Page, who was a director of sales at Arcade 1-Up, is now director of sales at Basic Fun. He's been there for you know, pretty much since we started following all this stuff with Basic Fun. And now they've got Cyrus over there as well. So I'm curious, what do people think about this move? And do they think it's Do they think it's a win? Do you guys think this is a win for Basic Fun? I'd like to see Cyrus move on to selling timeshares. See, the problem is we really don't know, how do I put this? We really don't know what Cyrus did at Arcade 1-Up. I know he kind of, learned at the feet of John D. He kind of took over that position when John D was, left, whatever, from Arcade 1-Up. But during his tenure there, they didn't really bring on anything new. The last real new thing I think they had was the Time Crisis one, and that was at the tail end of John D being there. That was, I'm sure, that was already in the works as far as I know while he was still there. So while Cyrus was kind of in charge of it, I don't know. I don't know what he was actually able to accomplish with them. If the goal was to just kind of maintain and keep the licenses they had, I'm not even sure that he succeeded at that. When you consider that it seems like they've lost Konami, it seems like they lost Atari. They're like barely holding on to Capcom, if at all. At this point, they may have even lost that as well. It feels like Midway and what is it? IT, who makes like the Golden Tee games and all. Maybe Raw Thrills is about all that they've got. So I don't know. I don't know what he necessarily brings to the table over at Basic Fun. I mean, unless there was so much political drama going on behind the scenes at Arcade 1-Up that his hands were just tied and he couldn't do what he was supposed to do there. Now, don't get me wrong. He always seemed like a really nice guy to me. I don't wish ill will towards anybody. I wish him the best. I hope he succeeds because I like to see these companies succeed. I don't like to see companies fail. I think having a competitor to Arcade 1-Up is a good thing for us in the home arcade community. So I definitely want to see the company do well. And I wish Cyrus well. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if it's a good fit, if anything else. Thumper Squid, good to see you here. Saying hello to the billionaires. And don't forget you members, you Billbarians out there. Basic Fun has all the licenses secured that they plan to have for a while. Cyrus took over when AOL was in a similar spot to just extend usage of those IPs, aka beat a dead horse. Yeah, but again, did he? did he? As Jason here shows, Taito, Data East, Atari, Konami, Sega, Capcom. These are all ones that they lost. So I don't know. They lost their sense how cabs were supposed to be made. And then here we go. Namco, Incredible Technologies, Midway, and Raw Thrills are the ones that they seem to have. I don't know. How did I forget Namco? Freaking everything is Pac-Man. Jesus. But yes. In my opinion, his hands were tied, and the previous leadership at Arcade 1-Up tanked that company. Again, that could be. That could very well be. He, when John left or was let go or whatever, he might have just been kind of stuck, just kind of sitting there having to go through the motions. We really don't know. It's really kind of impossible to know what goes on with the politics of a company behind the scenes unless somebody's kind of entrenched in there and they see the day-to-day stuff and they know what's going on. Unless Basic Fun was just really impressed with that Midway Golden Tee. God, I hope not. I hear, the fact that it's an XL. The people who bought it, they do like it, but we gotta get away from these hybrid cabs. It's bad enough that apparently, they were convinced, apparently maybe by some of the people who used to work for ThinkUp, that doing an Atari/Centipede was a good idea. Let's not let's not convince them to do more crap like that. Let's get back to some stuff that's more reproduction than that, please. Did they lose them or just spread it? Well, I don't know. It's tough to tell because we haven't seen anything. When was the last time you saw a Konami cab from them? What was the last Capcom cab after the Street Fighter one? That HS5 one. If they're spreading them out thin. That's for sure. They didn't lose their license. Again, you could be very true. You could be very right about that. Like I said, I don't want to disparage the guy. I don't want to sound like I'm disparaging the guy. Again, I wish him the best of luck. I wish Basic Fun. I wish all these companies the best of luck. So, listen, maybe it'll be a good fit. Maybe it's going to be something really good for them in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, guys, it's getting close to 9 o'clock here. I know Arcades Anonymous is going to start soon. But I did want to take just a couple of minutes and talk about this weekend coming up because I am really psyched for New York Comic Con. Like I said, I'm going to be there all 4 days. I'm getting too old for this crap. I'm going to need a vacation after this weekend, I swear, because I'm going to be so dead tired. Because I'm one of these stupid people I'm one of these stupid guys who gets there when they start at 10 o'clock and they stay and I stay till 8, 9 o'clock when it's done because I want to take in everything every single day. But I just want to take a couple of minutes because there's a couple of things that I want to show off. There's a couple of panels and things that I'm really looking forward to that I think you guys might find interesting. Hopefully, I will be able to bring back some info. A lot of times you can't take video, you can't take pictures during the panel, so I won't be able to do stuff like that. But no, I'm not getting any exclusives at all. Although I will say this, speaking of WrestleFest, Sergeant Slaughter is going to be at Comic-Con. I don't know what it's going to be like to try to get to him. His line for autographs and stuff may be insane. If it's like hours to wait for him, I probably won't. But if I can get to him fairly easily, I may try to ask him why he's not in the game. Just to see what he says. Without pissing the man off, because let's face it, you don't want to do that. But we'll see. If I can't, I can't. If I can, I'll let you guys know what I find. But there are a couple of panels that I'm excited for, some of which I'm already reserved to get in on, which is cool. Some of which are first come, first served basis. The first one that's like that is this, which I'm super excited for. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City VR game. There's going to be a panel for this. I believe it's on... Is it tomorrow or is it Friday? It's Friday. So this panel's coming up on Friday. They're going to be showing off gameplay. They're going to be showing off new features, talking about all the different characters, playable, non-playable in the game. And apparently, the people who go to the panel are going to be able to get some special thing. It says here, a special thank you to Turtle fans at New York Comic Con. All panel attendees will be eligible to receive an exclusive in-game surprise at launch available nowhere else. So I'm really psyched to see what that might be. So hopefully this is one of those first come first serve panels. So I'm hoping I can get in on this one. And if there's anything really cool that I can bring back and let you guys know about, I will. Later in the day on Friday, Capcom is actually going to be doing a panel there as well. They're doing like an hour and a half long panel. This one I'm already reserved to get in on. So this one I know I can get in on. So we'll see what goes on with this. Apparently they're going to be showing off some stuff for Monster Hunter Stories 3, Pragmata, Onimusha Way of the Sword, Resident Evil Requiem. It's an hour and a half panel, so I got to think there's more than this. There's probably going to be some surprises, maybe some cool swag. We will see. we'll see what happens. But this is one I'm definitely excited for. And another one that I think is Saturday evening is this one, the panel on the Mortal Kombat 2 movie that's coming out next year. Apparently, a lot of the stars are actually going to be at the panel for this, which would be pretty cool. They're going to be showing off new clips that people haven't seen, maybe a brand new trailer, maybe some other surprises and stuff. So, again, this is another one that I'm already pre-registered for. So I am definitely psyched to see this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's a bunch of other panels that I might try to sit in on. I know Hasbro is going to be there with a bunch of panels. I said there's a Star Trek panel on Saturday. I talked about that early in the show. I'm going to be dressed in my Starfleet uniform on Saturday, so I'm psyched to go to that one. There's Walking Dead. There's actually a panel on Saturday afternoon. It's another first come first served basis, which is going to have David Hayter and some of the other people from Metal Gear talking about the Metal Gear series and the games. So that one I think would be really cool to sit on as well. I know somebody mentioned, who was it? Matt Astra mentioned the Marvel panel. I'm actually really kind of ticked off because there are two panels on Saturday. One is an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reunion, and one is a look at what Marvel has planned for TV and animation coming up. And I wanted in on those panels, and unfortunately, the system that Comic-Con uses for their panel registration, while it's a lot better than it was in previous years where you had to like wait online at the beginning of, you had to physically be online at the beginning of the con to get like a wristband to get into the panels. Now it's all just tied to your badge and they do it all online. It's a lot better than it was, but it still sucks because they have this thing where you actually cannot sign up for two panels back to back. First off, you can't sign up for two panels that are going on at the same time, which makes sense. Because they don't want people just burning a reservation that could go to somebody else, because you can't be in two places at one time. Let's be real. But you also can't sign up for two panels that are like one right after the other. There has to be at least a 45-minute gap between panels. And the freaking system kept telling me that I had panels, like overlapping panels. Wouldn't tell me which one, just that I had overlapping panels, and I had to guess and figure out which one it was. I never did, but by the time I got everything sorted out and I was able to pick the panels I wanted, those particular two, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one and the Marvel TV one, were already booked up, so I couldn't get those. I got all the other ones I wanted, so that's great. But I'm so pissed, especially the TV one, that Marvel TV one. I would have loved to have seen what they have planned for the future, so I'm going to miss that one. And I refuse to wait online for the overflow to see if you can get in. It's just such a freaking waste of time, unless you get you're the first one online for it, and you just waste your whole day standing online. And even then, you're not guaranteed. So, anyway, that's my rant, my Comic-Con rant. But the rest of it, I'm really looking forward to. Matt Astra's going to be there 8:30. Wow, you're going to be there like super early. I'll probably be on a train 8:30. I'll probably get into the city around 9 or so to get down there. New York Comic-Con tomorrow. Hit me up, Bill. I'll be there. Cool. Maybe. Yeah, guys, listen, maybe. So Rich Waddell going to be there Thursday and Friday. Matt Astra's going to be there Saturday. Yeah, maybe we can work something out to meet up or something, which I think would be really cool. And like I said, Mo, I'm gonna see if I can get that thing for you. I'm purposely not saying what it is. People are just gonna have to wait and see what it is. But I will let you know if I can get it tomorrow. I will try, because again, a lot of times with exclusives, you got to get things right away. So I'm gonna try to get it for you tomorrow. So I will let you know, brother. All right. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, thank you for this, Jason. It's not too late for the GoFundMe. Like I said, we're getting really close to hitting the goal for what Steve needs. Look, I know he's already over the moon with what people have given. So thank you for that. But if there's anything else that people can do, please do it. And again, remember, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Let's get out there. Let's save the tatas. If you can donate to one of these charities or one of these organizations that does things for breast cancer, do it. I personally would appreciate it, like I said, because of how much it means to me with all the women in my life, my mom, my aunt, my cousin, a bunch of friends who've all gone through, and thank God are all survivors of breast cancer. So that's it for that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you hanging with me as always. Go check out Arcades Anonymous. Should redirect you guys right over to there, or whatever else you have planned for the night. Enjoy your Wednesday, and I'm going to go get some much-needed sleep because I got to wake up super early tomorrow to get on a train for the city. Take care, guys. See you next time.